Hey everyone, this is Bill Krieger from the Veterans Archives podcast, where we preserve and share the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Really, anywhere you choose to get your podcast, you should be able to find us. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on social media to help us reach more veterans and supporters. We are a nonprofit, and this service is completely free for veterans. Every story matters, and every voice deserves to be heard. Spread the word, honor our heroes, and join us on this mission. Follow, share, and tune in, because their story should never be forgotten. Learn more at veteransarchives.org. We'll see you there. Today is Thursday, November 13th, 2025. We're talking with Michelle Boulter, who served in the Army National Guard. So good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for coming by after work. I appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
All right. We're going to get right into it. When and where were you born?
I was born August 31st, 1974 in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Wow, 1974. I was 9 years old. Thanks.
Usually I'm the one that's going, oh, well, I was way old at that stage.
Yeah. I hate seeing the you can drink if you were born by this date.
Awful.
Yeah. I don't even look at that anymore.
I don't even check your ID anymore. It's like, could you just take a look at it, make me feel better?
Right. So did you grow up in Kalamazoo?
I did.
Okay.
So I was born in Kalamazoo, and then my dad got a job up in Otsego, Michigan, which is about 30 minutes from there. And we ended up moving up there, and I, for the most part, grew up in Otsego.
Okay. What was it like growing up in Otsego?
It's a very small town. Everybody knows everything about everybody. But it was, a lot of freedom. We lived out in the township, so if you wanted to go anywhere, you had to bike it or foot it. Main shopping was down in Kalamazoo, so if you couldn't drive, you weren't going to get there.
Right.
A lot of softball, a lot of sports, a lot of running.
Sounds like you're kind of athletic.
Yes.
So tell me about your family. How many brothers and sisters did you have?
So I grew up with 4 sisters. They're all older, and I make sure I make that very clear. They're all older.
Yes.
So my oldest sister, they range from being about 17 years older than me versus 3 years.
Oh, wow. That's quite a span.
It was a big span. So my first 3 sisters are about 4 years apart. And then there's a 10-year gap. And then there's my 4th sister. And then there's about a 3-year gap between me and her.
Okay. So you were the baby.
I'm the baby.
Is it all true? All that stuff they say about the baby? Like your parents were just worn out?
A little bit. We got away with a lot more than our older sisters did, for sure, because they grew up in the 70s.
Oh, good. That's nice. So tell me about what was it like having all those women in the house?
Well, not all of us were in the house at the same time, so not as bad as what you would think. But I think my oldest sister, because I was 4 when we moved into the house in Otsego, and at that time, I think she had actually moved to Texas.
Okay.
So it would have been the other 2 sisters. My second sister was probably there just for a brief amount of time because she got married when I was 5 to her first husband. And then my 3rd sister was still in high school. My 4th sister was in elementary like me. There was a lot of fighting for the bathroom, fighting for clothes, fighting over clothes.
Were there a lot of hand-me-downs?
Oh, that's all I got. And we were all shaped very differently, which didn't really help the clothes fitting correctly.
Right.
I'm the shortest person in my family by about 2 inches. And then my other sister, the one that's closest to me, is about 4 inches taller than me. So I always got her hand-me-downs.
Okay.
I had to roll and peg my pants.
At least it was popular then, wasn't it?
It was very popular then.
Yeah, so it worked out.
But she had a tiny waist, and I was built like SpongeBob.
Oh, no.
So it didn't really fit well. I wore men's pants better because they were straight.
Well, that makes sense, I guess, if you were built like SpongeBob.
Yep.
Well, so what did your parents do? What did your dad do that he moved to Otsego for work?
So my dad's originally from Illinois, Cook County, and he ended up enlisting in the Army. He lied about his age to get into the Army because he had a very bad home life.
Okay.
And the Army, he was in it for about 2 years, and I didn't find this out until he had passed. And then after he got out from his 2-year contract there, he enlisted in the Navy. And that's where he did the longest stint, was in the Navy. So then when he was I think about 20, he was over in California, Laguna Beach, and that's where he met my mother. And from there, he moved back to Chicago and started working, I think, in painting and other entrepreneurial stuff. Mm-hmm. But then he went to school, got an externship or an internship, working as an engineer with somebody down in Illinois. And they had a place up in Otsego, which is Parker Hannafin. So we moved to Michigan, or they moved to Michigan. I was born in Michigan.
Yeah.
And then he retired out of there 40 years later.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
My mom was a stay-at-home mom. She did odd jobs every once in a while. So she had to put up with us 99% of the time.
I think with all those kids, she probably didn't have time to work.
She didn't. She was a chauffeur not only of me and my sisters, but then by the time we were old enough, me and my fourth sister, my nephews and my nieces started coming along, and they're a little bit younger than me. My oldest nephew is only 4 years younger than me. Oh. So they kind of got folded into the mix. So she was a running daycare between her kids and her grandkids until she just about passed.
So your nephews are like almost
my age.
Yeah.
Yeah. I take it back. My oldest nephew is 6 years younger than me.
Okay.
He's 6 years. So, and then after him, my third nephew is 8 years. And then my niece is 10. My other nephew was 10. And then there was a 12. And then obviously there was the big gap.
Right.
And then my fourth sister, her kids and my kids are fairly close in age.
Oh, that's very cool.
But I just found out I'm going to be a great aunt. So my great niece is actually due in July.
Oh my gosh.
We got a lot of kids in our family.
Does that make you feel old to be a great aunt?
At 51, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I should be two greats.
Right. Maybe a great, maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, talk to me about school. Like, what was that like for you?
So high school was sports. I mean, I did my homework. I was a good student. I didn't really have to work hard for it. And so by the time I got ready to graduate, I was looking at going to one of the military academies. Mm-hmm. I was looking at one over in Vermont. I got accepted there, got accepted to Northern Michigan, and I got accepted to Western. And at the time when I went to Western, it was more of like a financial thing. Mm-hmm. And I had scholarship opportunities there, so I took up the scholarship opportunities and ended up at Western.
Now, were those sports-related scholarships
Yes.
then?
Started off with a cross-country and a track scholarship.
Uh-huh.
And then when I got in there, I was still working a couple jobs just so that my parents didn't have to flip the bill. They did help. But what was it? My brother-in-law was in the Army, and my sister had just recently married him. And I can't believe I'm actually going to say this because he's likely going to hear this. Like, I idolized him. I mean, he was the one brother that I had that I was probably felt like a brother at the time and acted like a brother. Uh-huh. My other brother-in-laws were great, but he was close in my age, very inspirational. And he ended up signing up for the Army and got deployed during Desert Storm. So it was a very emotional time.
Yeah.
Watching my sister kind of not knowing what's going on with him, what's going on with the world. And when they decided that they were going to get married, I was talking with him and I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And my mom wasn't necessarily for it and tried talking me out of it. It wasn't a good idea. You know, you're a girl, you're not going to be able to do much. And after about a year of college, I ended up going over and just walking over to the battalion on campus and ended up talking to a guy. His name was Captain Reisinger at the time. Mm-hmm. Great guy. And he's like, worst thing you can do is just sign up for the course. And if you don't like it, you don't have to commit to it.
Right.
Right. So I'm like, why not give it a shot?
Nothing to lose, right?
Nothing. And I'm like, and I can run, get a little more of that in.
Oh, so you're one of those.
I was one of those. I'm not so much as I would like to be one of those again, but it's not in my cards right now.
Right, yeah.
But yes, I was addicted to running.
You're one of the very few people I've talked to that talked about their military time and said
I loved running.
Yeah, I could run more if I did this.
Yes.
Said no one ever, except you.
I didn't like the pull-ups or the push-ups because I have noodles for arms, but I could definitely kill it in the run.
Yeah, running circles around the guys, right?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
So when I signed up for the first semester, I'm like, yep, this is it. This is it. And I didn't tell my parents that I signed up for the second semester, and I just did it. And at that point in time, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go to basic. I'm going to enlist. I'm going to do, the dual fold. And I gave my parents about 2 weeks to adjust to it. And my dad just kind of looked at me and goes, I'm not shocked. He goes, good luck. And then my mom cried, and she thought I was enlisting and going away permanently.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm enlisting National Guard. I'm doing the simultaneous kind of program like they have now, just a little different then. And I'm like, I'm going to still go to school, but I'll be doing both, right? And she's like, but you can go away. You can be shipped off. And I'm like, likelihood is not right now.
Right.
And then from graduation there, it was much easier on her. She didn't seem to be bothered by it. So
talk to me about basic training then. So you did basic training like in between.
Yep.
semesters?
I had to do it in the summer semester. So Western finishes roughly the end of April. The first part of May, I was one of the first classes to go.
Okay.
So
and where'd you go?
I went to Louisville.
Oh,
Yes.
really? Okay. So walk me through that. What was it like when you got there?
Hot. Very, very hot. And then when I realized that to start off, they wanted us to wear our blouse sleeves down, I'm like, this is going to suck. The barracks were not air conditioned at all. And I'm like, what did I get myself into?
Right.
I'm like, do I really want to do this? And from there, it was just your basic training, right?
Yeah.
And after week 7, I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. I can continue to do this. And then you start getting into the fun stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then it's over. And then I had to turn around and come back to school.
So before we turn that page or leave that chapter, like what sticks out in your mind most about basic training? Like when you think about it today, what's what's one thing that you really remember about that?
I really, really enjoyed shooting.
Awesome.
That was one of my favorite things. I mean, my dad had a shotgun. We weren't allowed to touch it.
Yeah.
So I really hadn't been exposed to guns or any kind of weaponry really up until that point. So being able to shoot a whole bunch of different things and then being semi-proficient, I'm not like my husband by any means, but I really enjoyed that. And when I came back the next semester, I actually joined our rifle team at Western.
Oh, really?
Which was a little bit of a shock because we were using the old wooden rifles that weighed about 20, 30 pounds. And I'm like, well, this isn't what I thought I was getting into. But we'll keep going.
Yeah, no doubt. Did you get to throw the hand grenade in basic training and all that?
Yeah, and I didn't do so hot with that because, like I said, I got noodles. And I threw it, and I'm like, man, I really did good. And all I remember is my drill sergeant slamming me to the ground. And he goes, you didn't throw it very hard. He goes, you want to try again? I'm like, no, not really.
As long as that was a pass, you're good, right?
I passed,
Yeah.
but it wasn't with flying colors.
So you get back to school. So coming back from basic training, was that a bit of an adjustment for you to be back at school? Or did you just like assimilate right back in?
It was, I like regiment. And I think that's one reason that I like the idea of the military. I like regiment. I like methodical. I like rules.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what I do today.
Right.
And not necessarily having that structure was a little off-putting. But I think because we did do PT every single morning and we did battalion every single night, it wasn't as bad, but I think the culture of the school was not necessarily at the time pro-military. Nothing like the environment that we have today. But you could definitely feel it.
Right.
In some cases, depending on where you were at, what you were doing, and if you had anything military on, you felt a little ostracized.
Yeah.
But coming back wasn't bad. I got to sleep in a little bit more.
Oh, that's
so
true.
That was nice.
Didn't get yelled at quite as much.
Not as much.
Oh, that stuff. Now, were you assigned to a unit after this?
Not during that time, because at that time you would enlist, but all the stuff that you had to do for ROTC, you still had to do all your drills, and we did all of our drills over at Fort Custer at the time.
Okay.
And then in the summer, you would, if you weren't doing basic or waiting to go to advanced camp between your junior and your senior year, you could go to all these schools. You still had to do your 2 weeks, but then you still had all these schools that were potentially options for you. Sometimes if you were really good, you got into 2 schools. I got into 1 each summer. So that was about it.
Oh, okay. Well, because I know when I was in the National Guard, we actually had cadets from Western that would come drill with us or come up to our 2-week summer camp, as we like to call it.
Yeah. Nope, we didn't do those because I chose to go to the schools. If you went to the schools, you didn't have to necessarily do it unless the stars aligned and you could. Then you could go do the 2, but it wasn't necessarily required.
Okay. You made the right choice.
Schools were fun.
Yeah.
You got the I love me patches as we went.
Yeah, we weren't really nice to the cadets very often. Every once in a while you get like a shining star, and they were great, but most of the time we just gave them a lot of crap.
Yep.
So yeah, you made the right choice there. So you make it through Western, you get your bachelor. What'd you get your bachelor's degree?
Got my bachelor's in political science, international relations.
Okay, and then what happens?
So got my commission in 96.
Okay.
And got commissioned originally as adjunct general, and trying to find a unit at the time that had a space for me. There really wasn't. So then I switched to Signal Corps. And then I ended up getting stationed with the 63rd Troop Command down in Jackson, which I don't think was there much longer after I got out.
Yeah.
So while I was there, it was kind of like the jack of all trades. They just put you where they needed you and waited to go to A school.
Okay. And you went off to A school?
Yep.
And what did you learn there?
That Signal Corps was not my forte.
Not your cup of tea?
Communications, technology. I mean, I can do okay with Outlook and Teams and Copilot nowadays, but that was a whole different form of technology. Like looking at your switchboard and all this stuff, I was like, I'm in over my head.
Okay.
But I loved the people that I was there with.
Well, that's good. So you made it through school, though. I'm assuming.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. And what was it like? What was kind of like a typical day with your unit then?
Let's take a quick break.
Hey, listeners, we need your help to keep the Veterans Archives podcast going. We're a nonprofit dedicated to preserving the stories of our nation's heroes, and we provide this service completely free to veterans. Your support helps us record, share, and archive these incredible stories so future generations never forget the sacrifices made for our freedom. Every donation, big or small, makes a difference. Visit veteransarchives.org to contribute today. Help us honor their service by ensuring their voices are heard. And thank you for your support, and thank you to all the veterans who have served our country.
It was just, it was a lot of logistics. I never went anywhere. This is where my time got really short because I got my commission, went to school, and I was out in about 18 months. So I only had, roughly 17 drills. Mm-hmm. And they didn't really have a whole lot of structure around my job in the command at the time. So I felt like I was more of a plug and play. Where can we put you to fill your role? But a lot of it was more logistics, just moving stuff, tracking stuff, reporting stuff, auditing stuff. That was it.
Yeah. You kind of do some of that today, right?
I do a lot of that today.
Yeah. We'll get there. I promise. So your enlistment is up then after 18 months, roughly?
Well, it wasn't. Unfortunately, it was cut short, not to my choice. When I went to advanced school for the summer between my junior and my senior year, one of the Audie Murphy courses, right? I injured my back, and about 7 months later, I ended up having surgery on it, and I passed the PT test, but I continued to have some aggravating problems. So I wasn't necessarily medically discharged because my unit was also more than 90 miles away from where I was at. And they're like, okay, well, before we put you up for review, why don't we take this out? And then if you can pass and you get medically cleared, then you can always come back. And after that, it turned into my husband got a different job. We ended up moving, ended up having kids, and here I am.
Yeah. So did you get married while you were still in the Guard?
I got married when, yes, I did. I'm trying to remember. Okay, I got my commission in 96. Me and my husband got married in 97.
Okay. All right. So you got married kind of young.
Very young. I was 22. He was 23.
Oh, my gosh.
And then our first daughter was born when I was 24.
Okay. How'd you meet?
I've known him all my life.
Oh.
We went to school together.
Oh, okay. Were you high school sweethearts?
No.
Oh.
That's the funny part.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
talk me through this. I want to hear this story.
So I'll start you off in first grade, getting small school, right?
Right.
And I see a guy who was in my class. It happened to be his twin brother. And I see him go into the bathroom. And then next thing you know, I see somebody coming out the other door, which was a different classroom. And it's the same kid. And I didn't know what twins were. We didn't have them.
Right.
And so I remember asking my teacher, and she's like, well, they're a set of twins. They're both brothers. And she explained it. So then I had a little bit of an obsession because they were both cute. Oh. And now this is on
I'm learning.
my brother.
I'm learning so much about you.
Well, the worst thing was I actually had a crush in kindergarten and first grade on their dad.
Okay.
And it was told at a wedding to my father-in-law, who just blushed and walked away. And I'm like, you guys are miserable. But we ended up being really good friends. We all did the same sports, me and my husband and my brother-in-law. And in high school, we all did cross country. We did track. I tried swimming. I don't swim very well, I think. So I ended up doing volleyball and other sports, but cross country and track were my main thing. Mm-hmm. And they were like the two brothers I never wanted.
Right.
And in middle school, it was like this hovering, who are you talking to? What are you doing? Interrupting. I'm like, I'm talking to a boy. Leave me alone. I don't need you here. And they were both dating other people. I mean, and he actually lives a country block away from his family, from where my family grew up. So we had this big space in between our house that sometimes it was an acorn war or duct tape war in between.
Yeah.
So fast forward, he ships off. He goes into the Army. He ends up getting stationed down in Hawaii. And I go to college. And it was the first semester of my senior year. Yeah, it had to be. And I had my glasses off like I do right now because I was doing something and I needed to see close. But I recognized the voice across the drill hall. I'm like, that sounds really familiar. Like, that can't be. So I'm trying to find my glasses, put it on. And we had this one guy that was obsessed with the Ranger tab. And so he was over there talking him up. And I'm like, oh, my God, I know you. And he comes in, he goes, what are you doing here? So we talked, and he was at the time looking to do like the Green to Gold scholarship, get out of active duty, enlist, and go to college and become an officer. And so we talked and connected a little bit, but he wasn't officially out at that time. And he goes, well, I'll be out in December. He goes, why don't you swing by and say hi? And I tried calling him like once or twice. He didn't pick up, and I make sure I reminded him that of every chance I get.
Oh, yes. He was screening his calls.
Oh, he was. And I was dropping a friend off over in Fenville, which went right past his house at Christmas time. And I'm like, you know what? You're home. You never called me back. So I whip into his driveway. It was kind of like a last minute thing. I ended up running over one of his mom's benches because it was covered in snow. So never lived that one down. And from there, we started dating, and here we are.
Do you think it was just because he was scared?
Probably was. He should be. He still is.
Right. Got to keep them on their toes, right?
Yes. He never knows what he's going to get with me.
Yeah. Like a box of chocolates, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I always say Rubik's Cube, but same thing.
Or or jelly beans.
Yeah.
It could be a sweet flavor. It could be a real sour flavor the next day.
Well, good for him. So you forced your way into his house and ruined a bunch of his mom's, and the rest is history.
And I made him date me.
Yeah. How'd that work out?
We are sitting at 28 years, going on 29.
Oh, congratulations.
So, yeah, thank you.
That's nice. I will tell you, I've talked to some people, World War II vets, married like 75 years.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
That blows my mind.
That's awesome.
But you guys are on your way there, so that's good.
We are.
Yeah. So you're married, you get out of the National Guard. Is he still, he's out of the service now?
He is out of active duty. He's in National Guard. So he ended up going to Holland. And so he was stationed over there with the infantry unit for a little while. And then it became mechanized. And I think it moved up to Grand Rapids. And at that time, he was just finishing the police academy at Kalamazoo Valley. And he was looking for a job as a police officer. So he had multiple locations to kind of pick from. I desperately wanted to go to Texas.
Okay.
I did not want to stay in Michigan. And he's like, well, my uncle's doesn't necessarily transfer. I'd have to take it all over again. I'm like, yeah, but wouldn't it be worth it? He's like, no.
I've already done it once. How hard can it be?
Right. I'm like, you passed with flying colors.
Yeah.
But he had an opportunity to go to either Benton Harbor, Detroit, or Jackson. And then, oddly enough, we end up in Jackson, and this is after I'm out. And I'm like, now I'm close enough to my unit.
Right. That would have worked out nicely.
Right. And so he started at Jackson Police Department downtown. He was there for about 4 years, and then 5 years. And then he transferred over to where he's at now in Blackman.
Okay.
So
familiar with Blackman Township. I used to work on Parnell Road.
Oh, that's where he worked.
Yeah, like right across the street. I was at Consumers Energy.
Oh,
right
so you
there.
were at Consumer. Okay, right across the
Yeah,
street.
yeah. I saw those guys pulling people over all the time. busy group of guys down there.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So in the meantime, like you're, I'm assuming you're having kids somewhere in there.
Yeah, we did. So my kids are right now range 27 down to 21. They're about a 5.5 year span between the first and the last.
All right.
And most of that was while he was in JNAT when he was working at the city. Mm-hmm. And I ended up taking a part-time job working, claims and insurance down in Jackson. That allowed me a little time to kind of flex with the kids. So I didn't have to take a lot of time off because, his job was incredibly demanding and hard to work around. But then when I think it was when my son got out of daycare at that stage, I was like, all right, I think I'm ready for something different. I want to get into the field that I wanted to. Mm-hmm. My end goal was to go active and maybe do, military intelligence. I didn't get into it because everything was being downsized and not many people were able to go active.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, I can do pre-law.
So this whole time you're still thinking military.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm going to do.
I am. And then 9/11 hit when I was pregnant with my third daughter.
Yeah.
And my husband had just gotten out about 8 months prior to that. Mm-hmm. So I was having a little bit of angina going, are you going to be called back up?
Yeah. That was a scary time.
Very scary. And that pretty much sealed my decision that, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to be here for my kids. And I've got a completely different trajectory with my life than what I would have had in the military.
Right. So you ended up going pre-law then?
Yep. I ended up doing pre-law, and then I ended up getting my paralegal certification. Once I completed that, I started interviewing, and that's how I got the job where I'm at Alexis.
Oh, all right. So how long have you been at your current job?
I've been there now. It would have been started in 2007, so 18 years.
Wow.
Going on March 12th.
Time flies.
Yes. It feels like yesterday, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And the older you get, the quicker it flies. I'm just going to put that out there for you.
Great.
People used to tell me that crap all the time, and I thought, oh, no way. And then I'm like, oh, my God, I'm one of those people now.
I looked at November, and I'm like, it's November what? 13th? I'm like, it just turned November. It cannot be the 13th.
Yeah. Yeah. It hit me like I remember putting all my patio furniture out in the spring.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden I'm putting it all away. I'm like, what happened? I only used it like 3 times.
Yep. Yep.
What in the world happened?
It moved quick.
So what attracted you to law then?
Again, it's like the rules, regiment, methodical. I can follow it. There's a process, and it's black and white-ish. And then when I got into it, I'm like, it is definitely not black and white.
It's all interpretation, right?
Very, very much. And I love research. I like reading. I like gathering information. I like deducing information. I like a challenge. So that fit great. And I'm people awkward. I'm not a great socializer. I'd like to try to be a good socializer. It's exhausting.
I'm surprised. Like, I remember meeting you at the golf outing, and you did a good job.
I did good.
You did.
I did. And if I know the people and it's not a lot of new people, I can socialize okay. But it will suck my social battery dry. And then I'm like, it's 7:00. I'm going to bed. Peace out.
You need a little nap after all that, right?
I do.
Well, so your kids are all off the payroll now pretty much, right? Or close to it?
Close to it.
Yeah, tell me about them.
So my oldest daughter, she graduated from Northern. She's 27, and she's a first lieutenant in the Army National Guard right now, Signal Corps.
Oh, awesome.
And she's looking at maybe changing her MOS when she goes to captain's career course. She's like, this too is maybe not like my strongest forte, but she's killing it. I mean, she's getting awards after awards and, getting praise after praise. And it's so freaking awesome to watch. I'm a little jealous because she's able to do all the stuff that I wanted to do, but I didn't do.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful to watch her do it. I was a little freaked out. I'm like, you sure you want to go in the Army? You sure you want to do the military? As a mother, it was a whole different feeling versus me. I'm like, yeah, I can take on the world, right?
Right. Now you know how your mom felt,
I
right?
do. And I was like, I can't be a hypocrite.
Right. Isn't it funny how that whole thing comes around, right?
It does.
Like when your mom wished that you had kids that were just like you, and then you had them.
She did it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she's doing great right now. And then my second daughter is a vet tech. The military wasn't her thing. She's like, maybe I want to do it, maybe I don't. But she's also the one that she's a brainiac, like my husband, brilliant. And she wanted to be a lawyer, but a doctor and a vet. But she also wanted to do certain philanthropic type stuff. I'm like, well, could we just pick one career and maybe get an education and pursue that and then go back for another one later?
Yeah.
You can afford it on your own.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. And so she did. She got her degree, and now she's a vet tech, and she absolutely loves it.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah. And then my third daughter, she's in the Navy. She's a corpsman. And their ranking and their titles, they're still a little foreign to me. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? What is that? Is that like an E5? And she goes, yes, it's like that. And she's stationed over in Bethesda. It was funny because her first station was Hawaii, and that's where my husband was. He hated it.
Yeah.
He hated Hawaii. And I remember looking at him going, are you crazy? How can you hate Hawaii? And he goes, I hated it. And I went to vacation the main island, and I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. There was none of that problem there. And he's talking about like the homeless and the dogs and all that stuff. Well, when my daughter, we went to visit her, he goes, I'm never going back to Hawaii over my dead body. And I'm like, well, I think your dead body arrived. We're going. So get on board. And we ended up going back, and he was hesitant, but he enjoyed it.
Right. Well, it's different when you don't live there.
Right.
As my son was stationed in Hawaii as well, and he said it was great for like the first 6 months.
Yep.
And then it just sucked the rest of the time.
Yeah, 'cause you can't go anywhere. I mean, you have to island hop. That's costly. Everything's costly. And once you see it, you're like, all right, next.
Right.
Well, my daughter's a beach person, so it was perfect for her. And she ended up getting married while she was down there and ended up co-locating over to Maryland. And she got stationed in Bethesda, and it's different. It starts getting cold. She goes, I think I miss Hawaii.
she can always go back though, right?
Yep. Well, now she's talking about Italy, and now I've got a grandson, and I'm like, you're not taking my grandson to Italy. I'm like, she's like, well, if I go, I have to go. I'm like, well, don't make it a choice if you don't have to.
Right.
You're being selfish.
Maybe it'll be good for him though, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's selfish on my part. 100%. But I think it would be absolutely phenomenal experience for her and my grandson that you otherwise don't get in a normal career. I mean, if she's a surge tech outside of it working for a hospital, they're not going to ship her to Italy. They're not going to ship her to Hawaii. They're not going to ship her to Guam.
Right.
And Japan, I mean, the experience that you get it's pretty awesome.
It is. What's the old adage? Join the Navy, see the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enjoyed my time. It's funny. You were talking about how, I just want to go back a little. You were talking about how like you didn't understand like the ranks and all that stuff in the Navy, right? I remember I was a fire controlman in the Navy, which means I worked on guided missile computer systems, right?
Okay.
And so my mom would tell everyone that she knew that I was a firefighter. Yeah, my son's a firefighter. And I finally had to say, look, Mom, no, I don't put fires out. I start them on other people's ships.
I thought that's what it was too, and she had to correct me.
Yeah.
Like, then why are you fire control?
Yeah.
I'm like, that stuff doesn't make any sense to me.
No, none of it does. None of it does. But yeah, well, that's the Navy for you.
Well, even the acronyms of, what we used to call like your LB, right? In the Army. My daughter was trying to explain to me even today's version of what the LB was then.
Yeah.
The first time she was talking about her flick. I'm like, what the heck's a flick? I'm like, explain that. And she starts explaining it. I'm like, oh, your LBE. She goes, what's an LBE? So we ended up having like the 6-month conversation going back and forth of just trying to understand each other's acronyms. And I had to compare it to our acronyms versus her acronyms to understand what she was talking about. Now I've got a pretty good idea of what she's referencing.
Yeah.
But then my daughter, when she's threw the Navy acronyms in there, I'm like, I give up. I can't keep up with it. So I'm just going to sit here and go, yeah, I get it. I know what you're
Smile
talking
and
about.
nod, right? Smile and nod.
Sure, I'll figure it out someday.
Yeah. So now, how old's your grandson? I can't leave the fact that you're a grandma. That
He is 4 months.
Oh, awesome.
He's just a little peanut, and he is the happiest little clam ever. He is constantly happy. She got a good one.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very easy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, she can always kind of ship him over to grandma if she's got to go someplace, right?
I keep begging.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can put in an AWA to go work remote once a month. And she's like, well, we may have to talk about that. I'm like, I'm just there to help.
That's right. It's all about you, not me.
Right. You need to go hang out with your friends, go work out. I'm just there to hold the baby.
Right. There you go. So you're 18 years at your current job. Sounds like you're loving it.
I am.
At least that's the reports I get.
Yep.
And the kids are kind of getting out on their own, and
Yep.
You're recently an empty nester or close to it.
Close to it, yeah.
Yeah, and your husband's probably going to retire sometime.
2.5 years.
Yeah, not too distant future. Like, what does the future look like for you?
That is a good question. So I didn't say my son is out also. He moved to Indiana, took a job down there. So he does construction, and we're looking at potentially building the next home. We've looked anywhere from going up to Drummond Island, up in the UP.
Wow.
Very secluded. I mean, I'm not a people person, but I do need a little people.
Right.
And I like it, and it's beautiful. I love the Upper Peninsula, but I'm not a fan of negative temps and a ton of snow.
That is not the place for you then.
It isn't. But every once in a while, he's like, you sure you don't want to go? And I'm like, I'm on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could go. I don't know if I'm not sold yet.
Yeah.
I don't like Florida. I mean, I'm at that stage where I'm constantly warm. So Florida is definitely off the table, but something in the middle. So he gets the opportunity to retire in 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he does or he doesn't, I don't know. It just depends on the environment and where he's at. But at that stage in the game, if he can, I mean, I've got to wait until I can retire. So I'm looking at maybe another 10 years. And maybe getting some property somewhere in between, down like Tennessee, Kentucky is kind of where we're looking at. But both of us are going to be needing an extra hobby to keep ourselves occupied. And
So you don't kill each other.
yes. And I mean, he's a bookworm, and he teaches on the side. I mean, he teaches he's teaching at Siena, which is now closing down. But he also teaches at Jackson College, and he teaches psychology because he's also got his PhD in behavioral psych.
Okay. Oh, he is not the cop I want to get pulled over by.
You don't. And the reason he did it was because he was a detective.
Yeah.
So now he can interview you really well, and he's an expert witness.
Awesome.
But he, I don't know if he'll continue with teaching. So it kind of depends on what path he takes, because he'll be there before me. Myself, I am going to learn how to golf better. And depending on where my kids all land, do some traveling.
Yeah. Well, as long as you're still in this area, Alexis and I will be happy to help you.
Absolutely.
My golf game sucks. So,
well, she's the one that helped me.
Yeah.
I mean, she actually tweaked just little minor things in such a way that I'm like, oh, I know what you're saying. It was like the light bulb went off, and I'm like, it worked. Oh my God, I got the ball off the ground.
Maybe I should be more appreciative of her help. Maybe I'll take a cue from you and do that. We'll see what happens. So do you think that there's things that you learned in your time in the military that have helped you with what you're doing now?
Oh, yes. I can be very squirrely. I mean, it's one of the reasons I actually got my office set up the way I do, because you can startle me, because I'll either hyper focus or I'm watching everything going on over here and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing here. And I didn't have a lot of structure growing up. My parents weren't big on forcing you to sit down to your homework and being very methodical. And that is one big thing that I took away from it. And I think because I was craving it and I got it, I didn't let it go.
Yeah.
So I got a little obsessive with it. But it was good for me. I needed that. And the structure keeps me organized. The structure keeps me going. Structure keeps me driven. I think it opened up my personality too, because I was a little bit more of a quiet wallflower. And I was afraid of asking certain questions, afraid of, upsetting somebody, offending somebody. And then after getting, through school, of realizing that I have a voice and you can like it or not, and your feelings are your feelings. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It took me a while, even after getting out of the service, how to apply that. And then it worked, and it was great. So now I feel a lot more empowered than I did when I was a teenager or my early 20s.
Okay. That makes sense. I was going to say, I don't peg you as the quiet type, honestly, but
I was a talker, but I was a wallflower
Yeah.
in certain situations, kind of like that antisocial piece.
yeah.
I never shut up, but it was just random things, and I'd talk your ear off, and I would just sit back and then kind of watch. I didn't join in things is the big thing. That's why I ran, because it was easy. But the skill sets definitely transfer into my job now. I mean, being patient, being able to listen to different people, hear their ideas, talk them through it, being able to research, being able to follow your rules. You remember that little handbook that we all kept in our pockets?
Oh, yeah.
It flagged with all the codes and the rules. Love that. I still have mine.
Do you?
I do.
Mine's lost.
And I mean, I wouldn't be doing the work that I'm doing as well as I am if I didn't have those skills. I'd probably be an artist, which I wouldn't have been very good at it, because that was the only thing I could do at the time.
That's a big difference.
It was a big difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we've covered a lot in the last 45 minutes, hour. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I've literally given you my entire family history. It's kind of funny just hearing it and saying it and being asked it. So, no, I'm good.
All right. Well, we got one last question for you.
All right.
So, years from now, when someone's listening to this, so I always like to think, 100 years from now, when neither one of us are sitting here, what would you like people to take away from this? What message would you have for people listening to you right now?
Don't be afraid to go against the grain of even your loved ones if it's a choice that you want to pursue. I think sometimes we want to please our family to the nth degree, and we sacrifice ourselves sometimes in the mixed. I think that by taking the chance that people will come around, kind of like my mother,
Yeah.
and even myself with my daughters, it all works out, and it's definitely worth pursuing than not pursuing it and regretting it.
All right. Well, thanks for that. And thanks for coming out after work and hanging out with me for an hour. I appreciate it.
I love it. It was fun. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's a wrap for this episode of the Veterans Archives podcast. We truly appreciate you taking the time to listen and honor the incredible stories of our nation's heroes. Don't forget, you can catch us every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern on Wreaths Across America Radio, or stream past episodes anytime on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and as I've said before, any place you can find a podcast, you can find the Veterans Archives podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share our content on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and across all social media. Every share helps us reach more people and preserve more stories. The Veterans Archives podcast is a nonprofit initiative, and our mission is simple: to give veterans a voice and ensure their stories are never forgotten. This service is completely free for veterans because their sacrifices deserve to be recognized and remembered. You want to help? Follow us, spread the word, and if you know a veteran with a story to tell, send them our way. Visit us at veteransarchives.org to learn more about how you can get involved. Thanks again for tuning in, and most importantly, thank you to all the veterans and their families for their service and sacrifice. Until next time, take care, and we will see you on the next episode of the Veterans Archives Podcast.